Holy shit, it's over! The Twilight movies are over! Due to copyright reasons, I can't actually play Celebration by Kool and the Gang, but just know it's playing up here. Because they're over. The Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2. So in the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2, Bella's a vampire, their little kid was born, so she's like a little CGI kid with CGI face for half the movie, and she's growing at a really fast and exponential rate, and now the Volturi are like, oh, you created an immortal child, those people tear down civilizations, it's very bad news, it's very forbidden, so now we're gonna come and kill you. Edward and Bella are like, So now they're getting their forces together and they're building their little vampire army, and now they're gonna stop them. The acting's still abysmal in this movie. There are a bunch of characters you just don't care about. It's really funny in the end credits. They're like, oh, this person as this person as that person. This person as this person in the background who apparently has a name. This person as this person in the background who said nothing. But I guess they're relevant for fans of the book. Upon all the stupid love story bullshit and the whole Wormtail killed me because I was the spare. We still have a couple things in this movie. First of all, the Brawny Paper Towel Man, or simply BPT. Her father, played by Billy Burke. Billy Burke is a really good actor. He's in the show Revolution. He kills it in that show. So yeah, the Brawny Paper Towel is awesome. He's not in the movie for much, but he still remains the best actor in this entire saga. Other than that, there's actually this one character who was actually pretty cool. He's like a badass and a ladies man. Like he charms chicks and kicks ass and actually drinks human blood. He's like, I'm not drinking deer blood or any of that stupid nerf down bullshit. So he's as legit as a vampire is going to get in this saga. The fact is, if the chips were down and Bella ever had to choose between him and that boring piece of shit she's pledged her eternity to, boring piece of shit would lose to this guy. This guy is just way cooler. And you actually have a throwdown in the end of this movie. I thought they were all just gonna get together and talk, but there's actually this big throwdown that happens, and they actually push the limits a little more than they have in the other Twilight movies. I always had to use my imagination to see how vampires died. I'm like, I think they ripped their limbs off or their heads off or some shit. But this one it shows, they just like pop their heads off like corks. I'm like, all right, cool. They finally figured out that showing that is not a bad thing. You can tell they were like, we can't just have them get together and talk. We need a fight. Otherwise, every guy that gets dragged to this movie by his really needy girlfriend is gonna be bored out of his mind that he's gonna commit suicide. This movie will lead to the death of millions. The movie still has its absurd, like, you're like, stop talking like that. There's just one scene where Bella's like, nobody has ever loved anyone more than I love you. Stop it, you can't qualify that shit. In the history of mankind, no one has ever, really. Pretty sure at some time in the Holocaust, there were a few instances where someone gave their life so someone would remain hidden from the Nazis. And you're saying no one has ever loved anyone more than you love this boring asshole? Ever, really? Stop it. When people talk like that, I just hear an 18-year-old girl who doesn't know what she actually wants in life talking. She's no longer a vampire who crawls up cliffs and kills cougars, no. Now, they explain the whole Jacob and Renesmee and him imprinting on her, and so now he's infatuated with her kind of thing in this movie. So is it as creepy now that I know about it as it was in the other movies? Yeah, really fucking absolutely. He's like, look, it's not like that. So I'm just infatuated with her and I want to get married. By implication, I want to have sex with her. But she's not going to mature for 7 years. So I'm going to have blue balls for a little kid for 7 years. There's no way to make that not creepy. Which is funny because the whole implication is he was infatuated with Bella because he was actually infatuated with her would-be child. In which case, if you were infatuated with one parent, wouldn't you be infatuated with the other parent? Maybe that's why Jacob and Edward have such tension, because they have crushes on each other and they don't want to admit it, so they're just pulling each other's hair on the playground or some shit. That's what I'm thinking. And people are saying this is actually a good movie. Is it a good movie? No. Is it the best Twilight movie yet? Yes, it is. But honestly, this is what it's like. I see the Twilight movies as jail rape, cinematic sodomy. The first 4 jail rape incidents, you're like, ah, this is terrible, this hurts. And then by the 5th one, this movie, you go limp and you kind of just accept the situation, and you know that if you just don't move and you don't fight it, it'll be over soon. And it's grown to not hurt as much. I think that's this Twilight movie. So is the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2 a good movie? No, it's not. It's still meant for tweens and people who are like,
that's right, Jacob, take your shirt off while you're arguing with him. That's right, boy. Oh yeah, watch your skin steam. Watch his skin sparkle. Yeah, I love you, Edward.
That's pretty much it. So this particular chapter of the Twilight movies seemed to focus up a bit more. It had a character with a bit of edge to him, and that actually adds a lot to a movie. And it had an end fight at the end of the movie that was actually pretty enjoyable to watch. It doesn't make grinding through the other 4.5 movies worth it, but I'm saying as far as this chapter goes, I can't actually give it a complete dog shit rating. Because they really did try, and I don't want to compromise my integrity just for the sake of talking shit. I will say this movie's not good, but you'll live through it, but you won't remember it in T-minus 15 minutes. Yep, already forgot. Cause it's over! The epic finale that will live forever? Nope, not really. Couple weeks in the box office, and then it will die permanently till they remake it, and then we have to start this whole process over again. All right, so what is the most laughable moment in the entire Twilight Saga? If you've seen the Twilight movies, if you haven't, and I have spared you from such pain, awesome. Glad I was here for you. For the rest of you who didn't heed my warnings and you ended up watching the Twilight movies, what is the most laughable part of the entire saga for you? Whatever it is, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.